Did we all finish? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's been a while since we all have finished.
No,
What?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's okay.
I tried. I didn't want to rush it because then I'm like, wait, then I'm gonna miss something.
Okay, what did we think?
I liked it.
God, I'm having such a struggle trying to find. There it is.
Dilate so steamy.
So steamy.
I feel like I'm reading a Hallmark movie.
That is funny. Yeah. It's just interesting to see how it's developing. And I can see what we said last time, that he is going to stay with his, like, wanting to stay in that, you know, in Westport. And she's out here like, no, it's casual. I'm not trying to, like, make this serious, because she's trying to leave. So it's definitely an issue that they're going to face. But I like it.
Well, she also has daddy issues, right?
Yeah, that's
Dad passed, and her stepdad is.
mm-hmm.
I didn't think her stepdad was all that bad. He's just trying to get her to have some responsibility.
There was a
I
lot
feel
of
like the only. Oh, go ahead, Karina.
Oh, that's okay. That's all I was gonna say. That there's a lot of unexpected angst, like with the grandma and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like the only part that I don't love about what the stepdad did, and really it's actually really the mom's fault. I don't even necessarily think it's the stepdad's fault, is like leaving both of the girls so in the dark about their family. Like, that's so bad that she didn't tell her daughter that her grandmother was in town. Like, that's terrible. I feel like that's really, really disrespectful and not good to not tell your kid that, unless, like, I don't know, the grandmother like did something terrible, like, and then even then, like, tell your kid about that. That's just not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of just glossed over that. They had the phone call with the mom, and she's like, "Oops, sorry."
Mm-hmm.
That's
It was-
it.
It was sad how the grandma was like kind of a recluse and she wasn't coming out too much. I think that made the mom not telling the daughters about the grandma being there even worse, I thought.
You think she's gonna go back to LA, or do you think she's gonna make her life here with her no-name bar?
I mean, she seems to be growing, or at least, yeah, I guess growing. Because I mean, how she's described in the beginning, we're like, oh my gosh, she sounds like a spoiled brat. And now at least she's like out here doing, you know, stuff. Oh, Darlene, you're gonna send messages, not talk? Okay. Sorry, I didn't know she was gonna do that. So I don't know, it's kind of nice to see that she's like, oh yeah, I'll help this man, you know, go and have his little readings, because apparently only the daughters come like twice a week. And you know, like, that was very nice of her. And I'm like, dude, it's you really know this man. And comparing that person they're describing to the beginning, completely different people. So like, I could see that maybe she would possibly stay, but I think she just really is into the LA life though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she says, she keeps commenting like how she feels so accomplished, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like the way people kind of treat her with more respect where she's at now. So maybe I could see her like going back to LA and then missing it there. Where are they at? In Maine?
Washington State.
Oh, it is Washington State. Okay. I got
I would think
confused.
Maine because it's like, I don't know, seafood. But I
Yeah,
used to watch a lot of Deadliest Catch, and a lot of it was like off the coast of Washington and
Oh,
Alaska.
yeah, you're right. It is all over there. Yeah, I could see her like going back home and missing Washington and ending up back there.
Well, apparently, because I bought it on my Kindle or the Kindle app, there's a second book.
Oh,
So
already? Didn't this book just come out?
I think so.
Or
It's
no?
a book 1 of 2. I think the second book is probably going to be the little sister.
Oh, like
Mm.
Like the Brown sisters.
the Brown sisters. Yeah.
I wonder if I'm the only one having this thought, but I feel like we're seeing the side of Piper that's like really sympathetic, and we're like getting to know her and like see, that side of her that's not superficial and all of that. But to me, it's almost a little bit like jarring to how she was in the very beginning to how she is like now. And I don't know if that's just me or if it's just like I feel like the author and maybe it'll like come through later, like more flashbacks, or we're learning more about like how she was back in LA. But I don't know, it was a little jarring to me to like how she was then versus how she is now. I don't know, but what do you guys think about that?
It's sudden. I see what you mean, and I think I kind of agree with it too. The only explanation I can come up with is that just like learning so much about her roots and the grandma like so fast, and it being such a different environment. She kind of hit like rock bottom at the beginning when she was staying in the gnarly apartment, and then she's kind of like people are treating her different because small town vibe is definitely different. And so I think maybe like part of her personality in LA, her true personality was maybe being squashed by like, party life, fashion life, and just being focused on, like she says, the social media stuff. So maybe now she's being forced to examine like stuff that has been deep rooted and that she never made the time or had the time or had the insight to examine because she didn't even know like this part of her personal history existed.
Mhm.
But I agree, it seems kind of sudden, almost like on the edge of like not real because it's so sudden, I think.
I think it goes back to like the Hallmark. Like it was just very convenient for the story that she's suddenly so I don't know,
Compassionate.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
freaking out because she brought shots into a memorial, but not freaking out about breaking into a hotel or a bar, whatever that was.
That the bringing in the shots, how did that happen? I felt like it was so quick that, like, where was the setting? I
It was
think I missed that.
it was a no man's bar. One of the old men invited her to a party. He called it a party.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, are you setting her up for failure right now? But
Oh, okay, I see. So,
Yeah, why wouldn't you mention that detail?
yeah,
How's she gonna know that?
yeah, exactly. I
Well,
mean,
I was thinking, don't they have like a potluck there? Don't they do a potluck there every week? Or
oh yeah, that's what
I
he
don't
said.
know.
He said something about bringing something for a potluck.
I can't remember the old man inviting her, but I was thinking maybe she thought it was just like a normal potluck, and then it's not.
like the way she went in, that was a little too bold. Which I don't know. I guess it goes back with like the personality we met.
Yeah. It does seem like it was a romantic comedy movie where like sometimes the characters try to sabotage each other. But I wonder what you all think about the memorial that was being held for Brendan's wife and how it was 7 years later and his sense of duty. I felt really bad for him there. And it has happened on like some get-togethers that I've gone to where I see like almost, I would say like Dia de los Muertos altar for different occasions, like at weddings or different family events. And I know everyone grieves differently, but sometimes like the people being honored are like not as closely as immediate as to the family as other guests there. And then I know sometimes the other guests there sometimes may or may not get triggered. And so then when I'm there, I feel really bad for the person that's there. So it's kind of like a nice sentiment, but at the same time, that's something that I struggle to understand sometimes. after a lot of time.
Especially because it seemed like what is his name? Brandon
Mm-hmm.
was felt like he was doing it for his father-in-law and mother-in-law.
Right.
They're kind of having him hold on to this
Yeah.
idea that he's still a husband because they probably haven't fully accepted that their daughter is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because they're
But
the
7
ones.
years hasn't
Yeah.
touched a woman. Jeez.
And that was probably like his entire 20s and potentially his early 30s, where he was feeling like he had to be respectful of his wife who had passed away, and like letting his, like, I just feel like that's really tragic. And I feel very angry at the parents-in-law for
Mm-hmm.
guilting him like that, because I mean, he has nothing to feel guilty about, you know, like it was a tragedy, but like 7 years, like why does someone need to be held hostage their entire life? Like you need to grow and move on. And like I feel like that's really messed up of the wife's family to do that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes the people still do need that, like maybe the parents still need it, but in a way they also are not allowing themselves to move on, and they're not allowing Brendan to move on either, to, you know, just a place where you could remember them nicely and fondly. But I don't know. So that part was really interesting for me.
And maybe that's why he's so like stuck in his ways and like why he doesn't leave, because maybe psychologically he just is still has that mindset, because that's through grief and like wanting to people please.
Right.
But I wonder how
And
people
he-
are going to react to him not wearing the wedding ring like around town. Like if people are going to notice besides Piper.
Oh, she noticed
think
right away.
so. And then he keeps like alluding like his marriage was more one of convenience or something. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Well, he's
We'll
trying to
probably
be
get
that boat.
more.
He's trying to be the captain of that boat.
Oh yeah.
It kind of sounds like they were like high school sweethearts, and it was just like part of the lifestyle there. And they just got married young because that's what you did.
It kind of sounds like they weren't married for very long too, right? Like that it was, because 7 years, I mean, I assume, and they're high school sweethearts, so assume they got married young, and then she passed away like pretty soon after that, I guess.
Kind of giving me
And he
sweet.
wasn't a very good husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else did I pay attention?
I'm surprised she didn't like have her grandma's hair person do her hair right away.
That is
Probably
true.
couldn't afford it.
I want to see if this is like a real town. Is it? Did anyone look it up?
No. I should have, but no, I didn't.
What do you think about Fox and the sister Hannah? I feel like maybe they also might end up together, which maybe that's what happens in the second book, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it more.
R.I.P. Sergey. Pretty
Seems
soon.
one-sided, honestly.
Yeah.
Did they
I'd love
say
to
if that guy is also a fisherman? The Fox guy, is he just a friend, or is he also a fisherman?
He's the skipper, maybe?
Okay.
Whatever they do.
I'd love to see them in LA, like how they'd react to that scene, all the
Mhm.
fishermen.
Well, maybe Brendan will follow her to LA after the 3 months are up and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't consider
Even
that.
just temporarily.
Do you think he'd be able to? I mean,
I don't know, but I feel like it's an equivalent sacrifice. Like the way she went to Washington, and if they end up together, she might stay. I feel like it wouldn't be fair if he also doesn't make an effort to at least stay part of the year, or at least visit and get to know LA.
mhm.
I mean, he could get a job at the port. I don't know how much fishing they do there. I think it's mostly cargo, but you would think that there wouldn't be any kind of place for him. Probably not the same kind of fishing that he does, but he could find something tangential. I don't know. More than she could technically find. Like, obviously, I don't really think she wants to go back to that party lifestyle,
Mhm.
but she kept talking about like creating a club, or didn't she say that? Like that, like I could see her like maybe getting into that. Like, and I don't know, there's kind of a ceiling in that town as to what you can do with that. I don't know if I can really see her being happy living in that town long term. I feel like it would need to be like she's there sometimes. I don't know if I could see her there forever.
I
And
wonder.
that will probably be a big, disagreement between them.
Maybe like when she'll be like, my time to bounce back to LA and do my thing over there. But I feel like part of him is a little bit jelly belly too, so I feel like that also could cause conflict in the relationship, because he was already saying like, oh, I'm glad people are seeing her get in the truck, so they'll know, like, somebody's been talking to her, things like that. Maybe Brendan will become an Instagram model and just leave the fishing life altogether.
I mean, seems like Piper could make it happen because he's described as being very attractive. So, people like that kind of type.
The line where it said like he flexed his tricep in the picture, that made me laugh a lot. I was like, okay, this is so silly.
This was happening in front of everyone, right?
Yes.
Like, what?
Like, suddenly you're taking pictures.
I feel like I'd be embarrassed. I don't know. Especially because I feel like, weren't they kind of, or wasn't Piper kind of flirting too? Like, it was just all of a sudden she's like open to just flirt in front of everyone. I don't know. I feel like it was more secretive, or like it was just one-on-one, and then out of nowhere it's like, oh, well, let's take this picture of Brendan, and then like have the whole world just watch and be there. I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Definitely. I feel as time goes by, they're getting more comfortable with each other, especially with those things that he's doing, like building the pergola, or having someone fix the thing on her bed so she doesn't bonk herself anymore.
I do think it's like, do you guys think that one of the reasons why he's being like so kind of all in, it's because he's been repressed for so long and like not dated for 7 years or been with a woman in 7 years, and now he's just like, I'm all in. Like, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, I don't know what you guys think about that.
Oh,
Could be.
Yeah, he seems like an all-in kind of guy. Seems like she's the first one who's really piqued his interest.
my book died. Right when I was looking for my quotes, I'm like, damn. Let's see.
Rico has been really liking reading on the Kindle now. He's using it all the time.
I just feel like maybe he's not the type to be casual.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he started doing all of these things right away. And I think Oh yeah, I guess it could be because he hasn't been with someone in a while, or in a long while.
Yeah. I think maybe it started as soon as he realized like he had misjudged her. I think part of it is he is, a little more traditional and just very nice like that and committed. But now I'm like, well, he was pretty like bratty to her at the beginning, so maybe he's trying to be like extra, extra nice, to make up for that. Or is that like just what he naturally would do? I'm not sure.
Well, he said he wasn't the best husband, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
found that
literally been like
interesting.
the wife and Piper for
Yeah,
his entire life.
So maybe he's trying to make up for like everything from before too, for all we know. That's so interesting.
mhm.
And he's a little too like smooth for someone who's been out of practice for 7 years. That's just an unbelievable aspect of the story. Same with her like changing her priorities and being more compassionate. Again, very Hallmark movie.
Yeah, as we're reading, I can kind of like see this happening in a movie. Like I feel like this is gonna be turned into a Netflix movie.
Well, she's very detailed when she's writing.
Yeah,
Like she's ready to make the movie.
yeah. She's like, Netflix, come on, I got you. Here's your script.
Yeah.
So this book was released this year.
I'm not
I
sure.
wasn't sure. I thought it was a newer book, but I don't know.
Mm.
It's just been very popular the past few months.
Let's see.
Does it say on the audiobook?
I can look it up, I think. Let me see if I can find
Released July 13th, 2021.
Yeah,
So it's
July
super
13th.
recent.
Oh wow.
Or at least the audiobook, actually. So the book might be older.
I can check.
Stop. This is not real.
Let's see, what did you find?
Because it says it happened one summer movie. And I was like, no.
Already?
And it says
Already?
preview
Who's gonna play the characters?
on location. I mean, it does say Hallmark, but I don't know if it's real. You know how they have those like fan
Oh yeah.
trailers? No, I don't think it is.
It says 2021, but it doesn't say the month on this one. Digital edition, July 2021.
Oh no, it's a different novel.
It Happened One Night is the name of a famous 1930s rom-com, which is very good, by the way. But It Happened One Summer. I wonder if they're honestly though, the plot of that movie is nothing like this, except that it's a rom-com. So there's not really any parallels there. I guess like they both like kind of judge each other, but it's not that similar at all.
It's very Pride and Prejudice with people misjudging each other.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think they have it at all. No.
I was definitely in suspense with the way chapter 15 ended because it was like right smack dab in the middle of the date.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing at that.
Oh.
I feel like the next chapter is going to be what Caitlin was talking about with the TikTok. Was it TikTok? Did you say that they were saying stuff?
Yeah, it's like this shit is rated porn. And I think I'll send it to you or Judith.
Yeah.
I think it's from that book.
Oh my gosh.
Let me find it.
That's hilarious.
Because so far not quite living up to that description, but I think next chapter.
I mean, she's been building up the suspense, so it has to happen soon because usually then something bad happens and they get back together and there's, we're about the halfway point, so
Yeah,
there's stuff for that.
I'm kind of scared for this date because he's over here being a gentleman, and she's like, I'm wearing this dress. It's casual, just sex. That's it. That's all we're doing. And he's like, no, no, no. Like, we're gonna have dinner. I'm gonna show you. Like he's like, this is not casual in my eyes. He's like, we'll see, we'll see. And I'm just like, ah. And then they start talking, and then that's when she's like, you wouldn't leave, and he's like, no. And I was like, oh, it's going downhill.
So they either might just hook up in the next chapter, or he's gonna get like one of his big like fisherman like plastic jumpsuits and say like, "Yo, put this on, zip you up, tie everything in." Talking on the date.
Oh, he doesn't. That's so funny.
I don't know. I'm very curious.
I sent it to you, Judith. I think I sent it to the book club
Okay.
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I think a big question too will be like, will Brendan, like, if they do commit to being together, will he be flexible to like stop the fishing or stop going as much? I mean, that is his livelihood. So I wonder if he'll take over as like bartender of the new place if it becomes successful, which I'm sure it will, just because of Piper being Henry Cross's daughter and all that. I feel like the bar is going to become a success. But I don't know.
Maybe he'll open a fish and chips restaurant because he loves fish and chips.
Yes.
How do I do this? Let's see.
I wonder if he'll get pushback from just like the community for taking off the ring, or for his for what was her name? Desiree's parents.
I mean, I know he's been wearing that ring for 7 years, but
Mhm.
it also felt kind of quick that he's like, you know what? Done. Like he could have
It was very sudden.
thought about it a little bit. It just seemed like he was like, no, it's about, did they even mention her name? Or
I think it's Desiree.
oh yeah, that's right. He just like kept thinking about it, like keeping it, and then out of nowhere she shows up with the freaking shots, and he's like, no, 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 I want to kind of like go take care of her. I'm like, okay. I don't know. That was a bit sudden.
Yeah. I wonder if like Piper's just like so different too than all the other women in
Yeah.
she's just kind of like a shock to his system in a way. So she's recalibrating him.
Mm-hmm.
I think looking at it from the outside as just like a townsperson, like I don't necessarily think, I'm sure some people would have been like shocked or like scandalized that he would just take off his ring in general. But the fact that he takes off his ring and then starts dating this girl that just got to town like the week before, I feel like that would be like a big WTF moment, and people would be judging him like sort of with that, it's all very fast.
Yeah.
And of course, love works, it's not always logical, but yeah, I feel like that's on the outside looking in, like that would be like, what the hell's going on there?
Mhm.
But like, who was he at that memorial? He was sitting with someone, and that person was like, "Why do you do this every year?"
Mhm.
So I think like
Yeah.
his friends are like, "You need to move on."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I agree with his friends, but also like it is kind of happening very fast, like very all in, like I'm taking off my ring, like I don't know. But again, it's a romance novel, and it's I'm coming at this thinking about this like in a non, like in like if this happened to my friend kind of way, and I know it's a romance, so I don't know.
Another one done.
Is that a hat?
Yeah, they're little baby beanies because I have leftover yarn balls, so I just make small projects with these ones.
It's cute.
Trying to clear out the stash.
I'll send the video in a group.
Thank you.
There you go. That took forever to try and figure out. I don't know why. I feel like Brendan making an Instagram. I did. Obviously, I read the part where he was creating it, and oh my gosh, when he was like only following her, and she's like, "I'm the only follower." Wow, he just created it, and I was like, "Oh God, that's kind of embarrassing."
Well, it
Poor
reminded
man.
me in my Instagram, because if you guys have me on Instagram, I'm just a goat. No posts. All I do is to stalk people. I don't post anything about myself.
Oh my gosh, you're Brendan in
I'm
real
just
life.
like Brandon. Yeah, I'm the real life Brandon. I just don't catch fish. Is it Brandon or Brendan?
Oh, it's Brendan.
Brendan.
Brendan. Yeah.
I
Brendan.
don't like that name.
Uh-oh.
For a
It's a generic dude name for sure.
Should have been like Maverick
Maverick.
or
Look at that butt.
Or meow.
she agrees. Agreeing.
Oh, man.
I was laughing. I said like, oh, nobody's ever built me anything. I told you, did you read this part? Because he's always looking stuff. It just made me laugh. Like big difference between city vibes and non-city vibes.
Well, it reminded me of Gilmore Girls. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show.
Mhm.
But one of the main characters, Luke, builds a wedding altar for the woman he's in love with, but it's not their wedding, it's someone else's wedding. Just reminded me of
Oh my gosh.
It's her wedding to, it's Lorelai's wedding to like her, it didn't go through, but it was like who she was gonna marry.
yeah.
Brendan's kind of like Luke a little bit in
Yeah.
personality.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. She just stole his personality.
She watched Schitt's Creek and then she watched Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
she took the what's her Alexis from Schitt's Creek and Luke from Gilmore Girls.
Mhm.
And she watched Deadliest Catch.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness, that is like perfect. I don't think I finished Schitt's Creek, but I can see that because she was very like Piper in the beginning, and then, but obviously she took longer to get to that level.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, that's kind of why I bought it in Schitt's Creek, because I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it is very gradual, and that like she starts out this like superficial party girl that like doesn't really care about anything except herself, but like gradually she really like has this huge change, but it's like 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So like it really is done well. Whereas in this book, it's like after like 7 chapters, she's like a totally different person.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll return to LA too. I'm starting to think now that maybe she'll return, but then she won't like it anymore like she did before. So then maybe she'll go back to Washington after that. Or maybe it'll take Brendan to come fetch her from LA and then, have a big dramatic scene. And then they'll go back together. I'm not sure.
That's what I was thinking, because there has to be a very angsty moment. There has to be like what's it's gonna be. And that he's gonna chase her back, offer to live there. But she's gonna be like, no, I wanna live at the bar or whatever.
At the bar.
The no man's bar.
What if something bad happens to him while he's out at sea?
Oh my gosh.
Because he is going, right?
Mm-hmm.
After their little night.
He's gonna go to Alaska.
Little place.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, I wonder how big of a role like Brendan's insecurity regarding like that Piper's used to really nice, cool, fancy, lavish things. he's gonna play, because I felt bad for him when he was like, I have to buy the most expensive champagne
Mhm.
because she's probably used to this, but it's like just so different from what his lifestyle is like right now.
Mm.
Well, I thought it was weird that when he was talking about why he was so attracted to her, not like only physically, but to their relationship, is because it's a challenge. That
Mhm.
was kind of weird, personally, because you just want to try to get her because no other man in LA can catch her for more than 3 weeks. You remember him saying that? That was weird too.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like seeing it like a conquest
hmm
instead
Another
of,
crab to catch.
yeah.
Catch.
The actual deadliest catch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not like he's out there trying to catch other women, but I guess the challenge would be him out at sea. And yeah, I don't like that.
I think she's gonna get scared because her mom told her
Mhm.
that they're gonna choose the waters over their women.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, I don't want it to end up like my mom, my husband dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities to how this can play out that makes it intriguing.
I think the drama's gonna happen right at the end.
I think so. Maybe even in the next chapter in the date.
Oh, that's good stuff. um, yeah.
I was also gonna say, I think her sister is an enabler,
Mm.
saying like gives her Piper too much of a write off for things when she shouldn't. But I guess they're sisters.
Well, maybe there's more to that. Like maybe I don't know. Like there's maybe there's more to like what the stepdad, how the stepdad and the mom parented or something. Like I don't know. Maybe they were always putting her down or something. And the
That's
sister
true.
feels like she has to always support her because she doesn't have any other one else or anyone else in her corner. I think we're getting a lot of insight into like why Brendan is the way that he is, but
Mhm.
maybe we need to get a little bit more insight into Piper's whole deal. Then maybe she'll click as a character more for me.
Mhm.
Maybe she'll find more pictures and that will trigger more memories, and then we'll be able to kind of understand her formative years more.
Is 70 pages okay to read? That's how much we were doing, right? 70 some.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
It's a pretty easy read.
Yeah. Okay, so
I have to play it to look at the chapters.
No worries.
how much do we have? Let's see.
So we're in the end of 15, right?
Mhm.
Yes. So 16 to something.
21? Judith?
Hmm?
21? Stopping at 21? I think that's like
Stop.
70 some pages. Like
Read
73.
21 or
Don't read 21.
Don't read 21. That's what I was looking at. But let me see. I think
Okay,
that'd be
so-
good.
Yeah, because 21 looks like a long chapter.
Yeah, it is a long one.
20 pages.
Look at that. We'd probably end up doing one extra week because we have 144 left. That's okay, right?
Mhm.
I think so. Yeah, so we'll do that. 16 to 20. So don't read 21.
Okay.
The chapters are getting longer.
Yeah. There's I'm reading it on the Kindle, and it's kind of cool that it tells me how long it's gonna take me based on
Yeah.
how I'm turning like the pages. So there's moments when I'm tired and I'm just like, you know what, I'm not really like trying to read, but I'm trying to get ahead. So then it's like super long, and I was like, what? But then when I'm into it, it's like, oh, it's super quick, and I
Mhm.
like that. But I did notice was it 14? It was long, or 13?
I think they were both kind of long.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
there
was like,
were a
what?
couple long ones. I think
Mine
like
said
3
30
and a half.
minutes, and I was like, two, what? There's no way. One, no.
Yeah, that was 14 because I
Mm.
was listening to it and then I was like, oh shit, I'm barely gonna make it because I had like 45 minutes left.
Oh,
And it's like 45 minutes for the meeting.
oh, okay.
So like 30 minutes plus 17. And I was like, no.
Oh.
But then we were driving, so I listened anyway, so it didn't matter. It looks like 21 is the longest chapter in the book, according to my audiobook at least. 30, almost 40 minutes
Oh,
of
40?
of
Wow.
reading out loud. Yeah.
Is this audiobook okay, or is it meh?
It's all right. She's okay. She's not like amazing, but she's not distracting.
That's good.
does it
I think
make
she does a good job with the voices, but when she's narrating, I think her voice is kind of meh. So I guess it's good that her voices are good. I don't know, like when she's narrating, her voice kind of is annoying.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, Piper's voice is kind of annoying, but it kind of fits with her
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree. I agree. Like it's supposed to be annoying.
Is that like I'm trying to imagine it. Is it like Alexis from Schitt's Creek? Or
Not that affected, but definitely like higher pitched and like kind of perky.
Mm.
Yeah, high pitched. Yeah.
But not like excessive, just
Yeah.
like, you know.
Okay.
And then Brendan's
And
like,
then Brendan, yeah. Mm.
I know, I feel like she made the character
Too
sounds
tough,
like
too
that.
monotone.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, when I've read romances, it's like always from the woman's point of view. Like maybe you'll get one chapter from the man's point of view, but it's like a huge mystery what the man is thinking. So I think it's interesting to have both.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably why I liked the Brown sister novels, because they were romantical. And I think from what I recall, it would kind of switch back and forth. Like some chapters were in the guy's perspective, some were in the girl's perspective.
This is such an old book, but this is like the first book that I read that was romance, and I was like, I love. I don't know if you've heard of Flip.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
this is the first
And there's
one
a
where,
movie too.
yeah. Oh, I didn't watch the movie until I would say this year. I was like, my heart, I love it. But this book reminds me of this one because they change every chapter, and I was like,
And they're
that's
like judging
cool.
each other the whole time also.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see that Stephanie Meyer came out with for the Twilight books, the point of view of Edward? And apparently everyone just hates him because he's awful.
He
I
seemed
heard about
awful
that.
from the other perspective too. I mean, only from the movie. Haven't read the book.
No, yeah, he's awful both ways, but like he's like a psychopath. Crazy.
Oh god.
It
It's
that
a
kind of,
vampire.
I didn't read them, but it kind of reminds me of the 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know if you guys read those. And then they did the Grey, like his version, but it was exactly the same. There wasn't like anything new. So I was like, meh, boring.
That's why, like, if you're gonna have the man's point of view, include it in the first or like the original.
Yeah.
My favorite romance probably is Pride and Prejudice. I reread it I think I read it almost every year. But one thing I like about like the old school books like that is that often they include like letters from the characters addressed to each other. So in a way, you kind of do get the perspective. It makes it more deep, I think, than if it was just like from one person's perspective.
Mhm. Especially because any one perspective is one-sided.
Right.
Completely. Even if you think you're right, it's never 100%, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, so next week, are we bringing proposals already, or
I think
wait till the next one?
it might be the next one. Because we have, wait, hold on, let me look at the calendar. So next week we still have 144 pages to read. So the next one would be 70. So on the 28th.
Bring a book on the 28th? Okay.
Yeah. Because we're adding one more week.
I might miss the 28th because it's my
Okay.
husband's birthday. But
Oh,
I will still like
Oh.
send in if I can't attend, I'll send my thing in through Julie and she can
Okay.
fill
Oh
in my
yeah,
purpose.
good. I can pitch yours again, so I don't have to
Yeah.
think of one. Now I'm trying to think of one.
and if you can, it's okay. I mean, I try and bring one too, but sometimes I'm just not into like one. And I want to hear everyone else's and I want to vote instead of like pitch mine. I think it's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying reading different genres or books I normally wouldn't have been attracted to that I end up liking. So
Yeah.
Put that in my calendar. Book.
Maybe like a holiday book.
okay.
A Christmas one.
That'd be so cute.
We'll have to look into that. Oh, I was with Crystal at the store and we were seeing so many like Hallmark looking ones.
Mhm.
Grab another one of those.
I think I know which one I'm going to pitch. That's why I asked, because I was looking through my shelf the other day and I saw this book that I thought was going to be kind of like more to the tune of like Memory Keeper's Daughter and things like that. But then I read the back and I was like, oh no, this is very different. It's like Sherlock Holmesy mystery. So I'm like, oh, this would be fun.
That sounds good.
Okay, so 16 to 20.
Stop at 21.
Don't read 21.
Sorry.
Don't get too crazy.
21.
We'll see you all next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.